Hi guys, welcome to It's a Blissful Day. Today we're talking about thoughts again. It's lesson number 4. Let's dive right in. So, when you think about thoughts, I want you to start thinking about a highway, right? You have somewhere to go, and you want to go from your work back home, or from home to your office. How do you get there day to day? A lot of people, we just usually jump on the road we know, on the highway or on the whatever street you're familiar with, and you go and do it. And once you develop a pattern, you start doing it again and again and again and again. And a lot of times you even get to work or get back home without even knowing how you got there, because we're such an autopilot. The same things happens with thoughts. Once as you're growing up, you are accumulating all those messages from your parents, from your school, from your friends, from your family, television, radio, internet, TikTok, you name it, right? YouTube. We are somehow storing it and making sense of this whole world in front of us. But how often do you really take the time to really question a lot of those thoughts, if they're really helpful or they're not helpful? There's a lot of thoughts that may be quite dangerous, and maybe they're not worth your time or your energy. Maybe they're bad thoughts, such as self-critique, maybe self-doubt, maybe I'm not good enough, whatever the story might be, right? We all have some thoughts that I wish we can just simply get rid of them. And here's how the brain works. The same thing as we're taking the highway or the road that we know to school or to work, the same thing with us. There's a pattern in our brain, and from point A to B, we need to connect those two dots. And it's like the more we use it, the more it appears, the more it occurs, and we even assume certain things without really knowing. I think this might be a really good spot for me to read this quote. A mind that is full of conclusions is a dead mind. A living mind is free mind, learning, never concluding. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Now imagine that every time you go to work or go to school, you find a different route. And there might be so many different routes. Sometimes you're going on the same road, there's traffic, there's construction, and maybe it's better to find a different way. Why are we so accustomed to be always taking the same route? And this exactly correlates how our thoughts are processed and created. It's like the path that is the biggest, the widest, the fastest, the most known, that's going to take dominance. That's why in the video 1 I said, think about it. If you can find a way to tell yourself, and not even convince yourself, just tell yourself. Let's start with saying something to ourselves, which is basically a thought deeply on the inside. It's like, I am good enough, I am smart enough, I can do this, I am unstoppable. Little by little we're creating a different paths, different neurons will be firing off and creating a new way of thinking and of being. And the more we do it, the bigger highway we are going to create, and the more we'll be showing up that way, the more we'll be feeling that way, and sooner than later things will start changing. I could give you a number of books that talk about this topic, that by thinking you can definitely change the course of your life, and that's why I'm here. Think and Get Rich, a classic, talks about the principle. So start thinking about yourself in a new way. Start creating a new possibilities for you, and I promise you life will never be the same. Now I'm sounding like Tony Robbins, but it's so true. I totally believe it, and this might be even his line. So thank you so much. Until the next one.